Before we begin today, I want to remind myself and you why we are here. Not to entertain, not to perform, but to pause, to reflect, to question what we think we know, to sit even briefly with deeper questions that don't have easy answers. This isn't about quick fixes. It's about walking slowly on paths that many have walked before and still remain unfinished. So let's take a breath and begin. Welcome back to the Reflective Path. I'm your host, Shailendra. And today we're going to have a very important conversation, one that I believe is desperately needed in today's world. The world around us is spinning faster than ever. Climate instability, the rise of AI, wars simmering across continents. And in all this chaos, millions are turning towards spirituality, hoping to find peace, answers, and some form of grounding. But there's a problem. As we search for refuge, we're stepping into dangerous territory, a booming spiritual marketplace that often sells illusion rather than truth. Instant enlightenment, shortcut gurus, and feel good wisdom that's been stripped of its depth and rigor. If we're serious about finding real peace, not just distraction, we need to reclaim the original meaning of spirituality. And that starts with understanding the words we use. Language shapes understanding. Language is all we've got. Every experience, every experience we have is filtered through words, is it not? And if the words are distorted, so is our experience. Distorted definitions confuse seekers. They turn spirituality into consumerism. Shallow understanding leaves people vulnerable to manipulation by charismatic gurus or clever marketers. Authentic spirituality demands precision because words are maps pointing to subtle, invisible realities. Now let's break down some of the most abused, misused, and thoroughly confused words in the spiritual world. And just to keep this from sounding like a philosophy lecture, let's have a little fun along the way. Spirituality, a wonderfully stretchy word that covers everything from chanting under waterfalls to buying overpriced crystals at airport gift shops. In modern usage, it's like a designer label. Everyone wants to wear it, but few check where it was actually made. For some, it's deep inner work. For others, it's just good Instagram lighting. True meaning of spirituality? The serious inquiry into yourself, into the nature of the mind and existence. Ignorance. Ignorance isn't simply not knowing. That's innocence, like a clean whiteboard waiting for knowledge. Ignorance is far worse. It's false certainty, walking around confidently with a map of Paris while you're lost in Tokyo. True meaning of ignorance? Mistaken knowledge, strong identification with false beliefs. Love. Love is not romantic infatuation with a shelf life shorter than packaged yogurt. True meaning of love? Unconditional, selfless embrace of all existence, without ownership, without control, and without expectation. Detachment. Not becoming cold, indifferent, or living like a recluse in the Himalayas. True meaning of detachment? Fully engaged in life, minus the emotional enslavement to outcomes. Soul, not a glowing ball of light that hops around like a cosmic tourist. True meaning of soul, the unchanging essence beyond body and mind, pure being, timeless and formless. Consciousness, not something you lose after 3 drinks at the party. True meaning of consciousness, the fundamental field of awareness within which all experience arises and then disappears. Karma, not instant cosmic revenge for skipping your morning workout. True meaning of karma, the law of cause and effect, the momentum of action that shapes your present and future experience, not instant payback. Meditation, not an app with soothing ocean waves while you sip cinnamon tea. True meaning of meditation, a disciplined practice where you try to minimize the mind's chatter and directly experience reality as is. Chakra, not colorful spinning wheels you balance like a DJ mixer. True meaning of chakra, energy centers that represent subtle dimensions of inner functioning. Symbolic guides, just symbolic guides for inner development. I'm laughing because this is one word that triggers a lot of vivid imagination and creative visualization, especially during meditation. I have chased and taken that virtual reality ride myself. It took me years to realize the futility of it all. Yoga. For too many, yoga means a boutique class for expensive leggings and Instagram poses. For others, it's about twisting your body like a pretzel. True meaning of yoga? The disciplined path toward union of body, mind, breath, and ultimately self with the universal. I know that sounds a bit bookish. My layman's version, move through your yoga poses with a calm mind and undivided attention on your breath. That's where I think real yoga begins. God, not a man in the clouds checking a cosmic to do list. True meaning of God, the absolute, formless, beyond features and attributes, not a person, but the totality of existence itself. Divine, not something reserved for desserts, vacations, or spa treatments. True meaning of divine, that which transcends the personal and the limited, the sacred essence present in all. Or to put it more simply, that force which animates us and sustains everything around us. Enlightenment, not an exotic badge you unlock after a weekend retreat with a quote unquote master. True meaning of enlightenment, the complete dissolution of your ego, living in direct realization of the ultimate truth. But let me be honest, I wouldn't really have enlightenment as the goal, at least not the way most of us live. A more realistic approach is to keep chipping away at the ego bit by bit through humility and sincerity. When we reclaim the original meaning of these words, we reclaim the path itself. In this noisy world, how do we find authentic wisdom? By returning to time tested traditions that have stood for centuries. Greek philosophy, Socratic humility says, I know that I know nothing. Wisdom starts with questioning your certainties. Advaita Vedanta, non duality. This is the path I've chosen. You are not separate from ultimate reality. Liberation comes by dissolving ignorance, not acquiring more. Buddhism, The psychological path of recognizing suffering, understanding its causes, and dissolving the illusion of the separate self. Taoism, Wu Wei, effortless action and living in harmony with the natural flow. Christian mysticism, surrendering the ego self to make space for divine presence. The common thread across these traditions isn't dogma, it's discipline, radical honesty, and patient surrender. I know both patience and the idea of surrender don't come easy, but hey, I never said anything about this being easy. In my own journey, it was through patience and deep immersion in the Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishads that I could see firsthand the stark contrast between pop spirituality and true wisdom literature. We live in an age obsessed with instant results. Spirituality too has been repackaged as something you can hack. Viral videos, 5-minute meditations, and self appointed gurus promising quantum leaps. But real spiritual transformation doesn't work this way. True growth is uncomfortable. It threatens our ego identity. The deeper you go, the more you realize how much of quote unquote you is just inherited conditioning. The consumer mindset seeks peak experiences. It avoids the real work of inner purification. Authentic spirituality is a slow, painful process of tearing down illusions, not adding more of them. Real spirituality isn't comfortable. In fact, there's nothing comfortable about it. It demands surrendering your tidy answers and sitting with open questions. It demands facing your attachments and self-deceptions repeatedly. It demands years of consistent practice, not occasional inspiration. It demands shedding inherited conditioning and mental scaffolding. Real spirituality means understanding that growth unfolds at its own pace, like a plant blossoming silently underground. It's not about chasing extraordinary experiences. It's about staying clear and simple even when nothing extraordinary happens. The wrap. The path is narrow but open. In this age of instant solutions and shallow promises, we urgently need to return to authenticity. We need teachers like Acharya Prashant who do not sell comfort but demand inquiry. We need texts that challenge us, not sedate us. True spirituality isn't something you collect, it's what you lose. Your false self, your compulsions, and your need for control. The market will keep selling spiritual entertainment, but real freedom, it can be bought. It can only be earned through fierce, humble, lifelong inquiry. As Zen master Senkan said, the way is not difficult for those who have no preferences. Thank you for walking the reflective path with me today. If this reflection sparked something in you, consider subscribing, sharing, or simply sitting with it a little longer. Remember, true change rarely comes from answers. It comes from sustained, sincere inquiry. Until next time, keep reflecting.